I frankly believe that every Negro in the country should learn judo and karate.
How about carrying a weapon?
If it's legal for a man to carry or have in his possession a rifle or a shotgun, especially faced with what Negroes in this country are confronted with, they should have it. They shouldn't go out attacking someone with it, but in the face of the brutality that our people encounter, it's not unjust to teach a Negro to have a shotgun or a rifle in his house.
What if it were illegal to have a shotgun or a rifle in a
Illegal?
person's home? Yeah, what if it were illegal? That's correct. Would you still advocate it?
We never advocate, I would never advocate anything illegal.
Even in an area where Negroes could be attacked?
I would never advocate anything illegal.
Black people should realize that freedom is something that they have when they're born. And anyone who stands in their way of freedom is their enemy. Yes? Anyone who stands in the way of your and my freedom, our human dignity, is a cold-blooded, blue-eyed enemy. We need an organization that no one downtown loves. We need one that's ready and willing to take action. Any kind of action. Not when the man downtown sees fit, but when we see fit. By any means necessary. This will be an organization that will give the black man in this country the right to defend himself. It will encourage him to defend himself, and it will teach him how to defend himself by any means necessary. And we can never acquire human dignity until we eliminate that which stands in the way of us and our dignity. The man that kidnapped us and brought us here, who made a slave out of us, who hung us on trees, who raped our mothers. I don't have to tell you which man, because we intend to fire our people up so much until if they can't have their equal share in the house, they'll burn it down.
Robert Williams created headlines when he said, "Sometimes violence must be met with violence." Many asked why.
Because some of the people who had thought that it would be better to settle these cases violently, I had been able to persuade them that we should use the courts and go into the courts. So this thing had boomeranged, and I was being held responsible for having brought these cases to court. There was a trial where a Negro maid had been kicked down a flight of stairs by a white man, and that this man hadn't even bothered to come to his own trial, and that he had also been acquitted. And there was a demonstration as a result of this in the courtroom by the Negro women of the community. And they had approached me and had said, well, you said that you would see that these people would be punished because through the organization we would have competent counsel, and that if it hadn't been for you, that these people would have been punished. And they wanted to know what I would recommend that they do from then on. And so I recommended that they meet violence with violence, that Negroes must be prepared to repulse attacks, that they must be willing to fight, that they must be willing to die and to kill if necessary, that there was no law, there was no 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution of equal protection in the South, and that therefore they didn't have any deterrent, so they would have to create the deterrent force themselves by meeting violence with violence.
What is good, my people? We are live back again on the forecast. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on here long. If we do have a discussion, it's gonna be over on fan base, like I've been saying. And we've been going live over there. So y'all make sure y'all go to fan base, download the fan base app. And my name is the forecast, like you see on the screen, just the forecast. That's it. THE, the number 4KAST. And you can follow me over there. And you know, we have good discussions. There's a lot of good people over there. We got to try to get off of these platforms that's not owned by us and get to places that is owned by us. So, I definitely want to shout out to them and make sure y'all do that. And also, I want to thank everybody that did come to the meeting yesterday that we had. We had a Zoom call, where everybody is going to get introduced and stuff like that. With some technical difficulties. And I'm going to set up the next one because there was a time limit on it. So, I'm going to set up the next one for this weekend, for this Saturday. And like I said, anybody who's interested and want to be involved, make sure y'all email me, and I'm going to put my email in the chat for anybody who wants to be a part of it. Because like I said, it was a good meeting, and we're going to have them more consistently. And we're gonna try to get things done. And like I said, my purpose for doing this is, the first step is to, number one, get introduced to each other. Because like I said, you got to show your face when you come on the call, so we know who you are. Make sure there's no trolls or nothing like that going on in that environment, because this environment is completely different from that, and we trying to make progress. So and we also eventually gonna set up a meeting in person, what I'm saying, hopefully in a couple of months. So, we gonna go over some things where, we gonna try to build with each other, So and I don't want to do it on here, what I'm saying, or any other platforms. And like I said, we can have more discussions over on the other platform. So over on fan base. But yes, but certain discussions don't belong on any of this stuff. So, like I said, thank everybody who came to the last one. And hopefully more people want to be involved. Just take my email. You can come on and let me know that you want to be down or involved. So, we're doing that this weekend. And really, that was my purpose of coming on here. But, since I'm on here, I'm not just going to come on here and say that. I do want to show y'all a couple of videos, a couple of updates for the things. And until I can do the premieres. And by the way, I got a live premiere coming up after this. So, either we're going to go on the Fanbase app or, stay tuned, because there's going to be another live premiere coming up right after this live. So, that's for anybody who stays on YouTube. So, that's coming up right after this. But, since I'm on here though, I do want to share a couple of stories. These kind of stories happen all the time. And since I haven't been doing the premieres like I've been wanting to, I've been trying to come on here and do more of those kind of stories live, and in addition to every other thing that we doing. So I did come across a couple of interesting stories that I think people should be aware of, and maybe some of you already are, but I know I wasn't aware of it until recently. So, and like I said, man, the more I'm not doing these premieres, the more bodies it is. Yo, what up, Bakari? The more I'm not doing these premieres, the more bodies it is. And there's a whole lot of stuff not being talked about, and there's a whole lot of updates every day, because like we can take a day off if you want to, but they're not going to take a day off, what I'm saying. It's how people say, you can't get on code, you got to live by a code. They live by it all day, every day. And they don't care who you are. See, while we find excuses not to actually combat this stuff or to go against it, right? They're going to stay right along doing what they've been doing, and nothing is ever going to change. And they don't care if it's a baby, they don't care if it's an elderly, they don't care. So, I'm gonna do the first screen share. And like I said, somebody can come on, but we're gonna kind of stick to the topic because we're not gonna be on here hours tonight. You know what I'm saying? If we have a discussion, we're gonna move it over to fan base. And also, the premiere is coming up for those who stay on YouTube. So we're not gonna be on here. And if you do come on here, you know what I'm saying, make sure you stay to the topic. But yeah, let me share my screen and show y'all the first story. Okay. Now, this was a 1-year-old who was injured while in police custody, while the police was executing a quote unquote search warrant for this brother. And I just wanted to show y'all, like, first of all, this brother was defending his family because the police busted in his house at 5 o'clock in the morning. And of course they charged him and all of that stuff. But let me play this story for y'all.
For parents, something happens to your child, you're not able to help them. You're not there to help them. That's the reality for one mom in Pensacola, Florida. It happened after the father of her 2 children shot at officers when they executed a search warrant at their home at about 5 a.m. The kids were placed in the back of a police car, and we want to warn you, what came after that is it's hard to look at. Bruises, scrapes on a 1-year-old's face. Police say he fell out of their car. Details are still unfolding tonight, but we're sharing what we know because we think this is a story worth telling. It's our Newsy Tonight focus. National correspondent Haley Bull is following this case tonight. Haley, how's the family handling this?
Chance, we spoke with the child's mother who says she is disgusted and wants to make sure this does not happen to anyone else. To walk through what led to this, police confirm a shooting investigation led them to carry out a search warrant, but Corey Moreno Jr. was not believed to be a suspect and did not have a criminal background. Police maintain they knocked and waited an appropriate amount of time in the early morning hours before force was used to open the door. Their policy states they wait 15 seconds. Police confirm Moreno shot at officers, hitting one's protective head shield before putting his gun down, apologizing and complying with arrest. Attorney James Bryant says his client did what any father would do.
To have your life turned upside down that way, simply because you were shocked that somebody was breaking into your home and you had no idea who they were, and you have a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old you need to protect, it is just upsetting.
But there were more concerns about an hour later when police confirmed his 1-year-old fell out of the vehicle he had been placed in and hit their head.
Kylan's face was completely unrecognizable.
Moya Dixon says it was gut-wrenching to see her child. She questions why the baby wasn't taken to the hospital right away.
I'm devastated. I'm heartbroken. I'm disgusted. I cannot wrap my head around how this happens, not only with an adult, but with police. We're supposed to be safe in police hands. My baby was not safe.
It shows the continuation of the disparities in policing, especially in economically disadvantaged communities.
The violent outcomes and how some warrants are carried out are receiving more publicity across the country.
It's the overall force at which these warrants, either a no-knock warrant or this nearly no-knock warrant, are taken.
We spoke with the director of the Miami Law Innocence Clinic.
The protections of the Fourth Amendment, which prohibits unreasonable search and seizure, which is the constitutional amendment that requires a warrant for certain things, has been eroded bit by bit over the last 3 or 4 decades.
In this case, Moya Dixon says she wants to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else.
I feel like they're just disregarding us as a whole, as humans.
Dixon says she took the baby to the hospital. He was checked out and she was told he was fine, but she's concerned.
Now, first of all, I don't know if y'all know what a no-knock warrant is, where they can just break in your house and do whatever they want. And, they kept bringing up Warren a lot as if, what I'm saying, this black father was a criminal, which he wasn't. He wasn't a criminal at all. But you know, so during the thing, they bust in and he shot at the police because he thought it was somebody breaking in his house. And once he found out it was the police, he put his gun down. He apologized and everything. You know, of course, they still arrested him and charged him with shooting at the police, though. And now, while they were searching the house, they took the baby and quote unquote put him in the police car. And somehow, this 1-year-old fell out of a police car. So I don't even know if the baby was just unattended, if they just threw him in there, if they left the door open, or how a 1-year-old can fall out of a police car. But you know, they didn't try to help him or anything, you know. And you know, that's just the way they disrespected him. So, you know, I'm gonna play some of this video here.
Start with an unbelievable case out of Florida, where one police department is under investigation after a baby was said to have been seriously hurt while in their custody, in their care. Take a look. This is what the baby's family says happened to their 1-year-old while sitting in the back of a police car with police officers. News outlets there report the baby and his 3-year-old brother were in the car, while the SWAT team was dealing with his father, who was not the target of the initial investigation and no criminal record or history. Tonight, the family joins The Factor to tell us what happened from Pensacola, Florida.
I received a phone call that morning from one of his family members saying that I needed to come there to get the kids. They didn't give me any details on why. They just told me that I needed to come there. So I left immediately. I was on my way. About 10 minutes later, I received another phone call saying that my son was injured. My 1-year-old was injured, and that his face was bloody and that I needed to get there quick. So at this point, you know, I'm frantic. When I arrived at the scene, I saw caution tape all over the place. So many officers, you know, and I'm just looking for my children. So I'm asking everybody around, where's my kids? Where's my kids? And when I saw my 1-year-old, his face was unrecognizable, you know, did not look at all like himself.
And as a mother, what did that do to you, seeing your baby like that, 1-year-old, right?
I was devastated. I was angry. I had so many emotions, knowing that I wasn't there and there was nothing that I could have done to prevent it. You know, it's indescribable, honestly.
And Mr. Bryan and Mr. Reeves, tell us exactly what you guys know happened to that child in police custody.
What I can tell you from and really this comes from their son, Kayon, who was the witness to seeing his little brother fall. Essentially, Kayon said he was sitting in the back seat of the police vehicle with an officer and his little brother. His little brother was being held by the police officer. When the police officer opened the door to the vehicle, he dropped little Kylan directly on his face, and it hit the asphalt. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And Mr. Reeves, take us back to the beginning really quick. Why were police there at the house anyway?
All right, hold on. And this is I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna play all of this video, just some of this part so y'all can see why they were there anyway, you know. But of course, you know, YouTube going crazy with the ads and stuff like that.
From our understanding, they were at the house to execute a search warrant looking for digital evidence and maybe clothing, but there was nothing related to our client, Mr. Corey Marino. He was not a part of the investigation at all at that point.
And so they came into the house, I think, at 5 a.m. We're talking about SWAT, right?
Yes, SWAT team. My client describes 20, 25 officers to execute a search warrant around 4:30 a.m. And really, there was no opportunity for him to know that the police was outside his door in the middle of the night.
So they barge into the house. Do we know if this was a knock or a no-knock warrant?
This was a knock warrant. This was a knock warrant. It wasn't a no-knock warrant. However, the time length that they took to enter the home, it was very clear they did not want Mr. Marino to have any notice that they were coming in the home.
And
And
I can be
then
a
we're
little bit.
talking about 4 or 5 in the morning, right?
Correct.
And so he thought these were intruders. Is that my understanding, Mr. Bryant?
Yeah. So, to touch a little bit on what Mr. Reeves was saying, the Pensacola Police has a policy which essentially says this: before you enter into a home, you have to wait 15 seconds after you knock and announce. In this instance, it's alleged, and we still don't even know if this is true, but it's alleged that they knocked and announced. However, in their own police report, they identified that they waited 10 seconds, which is completely in violation of their policy. So at that moment in time, at 4:30 in the morning, 4:45 in the morning, Mr. Marino, who is with his 1-year-old and his 3-year-old baby, he hears a boom at his door. He again thinks it's an intruder, and he did what every single American who is a registered firearm owner would have done with their babies in the home at 4:30. He fired a shot when that door busted open, and that was absolutely legal. It is within the Castle Doctrine in the state of Florida, and he had a right to defend his family.
Now, they have not, as of yet, filed charges against Mr. Marino, right? And anyone can chime in and answer.
As of right now, there's no charges that have been filed. When I last was in touch with the prosecutor, they told me it'll be a 2-week decision and we'll have an answer. But we're trying to apply pressure as much as we can to make sure that they know any charges would be unjust in this situation.
Now, is there an internal investigation underway at the Pensacola Police?
All right, because you don't need to see no more because we know about what these investigations is. Yeah, what's up, Erica? What up, Rashid? What's up, my brother? Bakari? Yo, you there, Bakari?
Yeah, I had to unmute. I was talking. Peace, God.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
love. Peace to everybody in the chat. Rashid, Erica Howard, whoever else out there. Let me see. If I don't say your name, don't blame it on my heart, blame it on my brain. Peace to everybody.
Yeah, Bakari, you saw that? Oh, yeah, go ahead. I was about to say, you saw that video?
You see the avatar I put up there tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you read that avatar?
Black people don't owe the world nothing but an ass whipping.
Yeah. Until we start making it uncomfortable for these motherfuckers. Or make it uncomfortable, like, you know, the rapper, The Game. Remember what he said? I think it was, it might have been so many they done killed and choked and did all that. I think it might have been the one time they did something to a woman. And they were saying, hands up, don't shoot, or I can't breathe. I agree with The Game. I don't think he done an interview since he made this statement. He said, shit, it's time for us to tell it's time for us to make the police make it hard for them to breathe. They got to start wearing the shirt saying, I can't breathe. They got to start wearing the shirt saying, hands up, don't shoot. Man, it's just that damn simple, man. It ain't gonna stop till you put a foot up in their ass. And I'm saying, I'm sorry. I don't mean to mess up your channel or nothing like that. Because I don't want the good shysters to come after you. So I'm gonna this is me. This is not forecast. This is me saying that. You're gonna have to put a foot up them motherfuckers up, Matilda. Man, we gonna have to do something, man. How is it people can just treat us like this and there's no repercussion? No repercussion. There's no repercussion, as Eddie Murphy said in Life, when the man said, you gonna eat your cornbread. Yeah, you put your hand on my cornbread, you're gonna be consequences and repercussion. God damn, people can do what they want to do to our children, everything, our women, us. There's no consequences and repercussions, none. None whatsoever. They have no fear in doing what they do. None whatsoever. None. And I ain't saying you need to walk around just full of anger and ready to go attack somebody, but we do need to walk around and be upset, understand why black folks mad in this goddamn country, mad in this goddamn world, and we walk around and we ready. And if you ain't ready, you got to get ready. And I'm just saying, man, we got to be ready. Man, this survival. We still ain't figured out that we at war. What we gonna do? They are who they are. They doing what they do. So they doing what they supposed to do. We ain't doing what we supposed to do. Huh? Are we waiting on them to get a conscience and decide to stop? Are we waiting on Jesus to come lay hands on them? Are we waiting on Prophet Muhammad or whoever, Allah Alaikum, however, to come say something to them? Is that what we waiting on? Are we waiting on our ancestors to magically appear? Huh? We got to stop running to other planets. Ain't, far as I know, ain't no life out there. And if they out there, if life out there, I ain't telling nobody that it ain't. I'm just saying, as far as I know, ain't none in them other planets. And if it is, they ain't down here. So the life on them other planets ain't doing nothing. The green pickle people ain't came down here yet. Huh? We got the information. We got too much information. We got too much useless information. But what black men, what we don't have when it comes to this goddamn beast is a heart. What we don't have when it comes to this beast, we ain't let our nuts hang. Huh? We ain't beat on our chest and let these motherfuckers know. And I know I ain't the only one feel this way. And I know I ain't the only one step to these folks. But god damn, we got to do it in numbers. Huh? We got to get NFAC back out there while they marching in wherever they marching at with 5,000 strong. We need to be in about 5 different cities at one time, 10 different cities at one time, 10 different states at one time, marching 5,000, 10,000 deep. Huh? And I ain't talking about marching with hand signs. I ain't talking about with Antifa coming out there burning shit up. I ain't talking about today Black Lives Matter. No, we need to be marching the way the Not Fucking Around Coalition did. Or the Not Fucking Around clique. We need to be in about 10, 15 states at one time. 5,000, 10,000 strong in each state. March. Downtown. Let's go to their millionaire areas. This shit gonna change. Y'all don't change it or we gonna change it. It's just that damn simple. I feel sorry for that young man and that woman. That young woman. The father and the mother of that little baby. Feel sorry for that little baby. Man, we've been challenged. You remember when you were little? And then people trying to start a fight because you and your little buddy up the street might be arguing and they put a stick on his shoulder and say, knock the stick off. Or they'll put their hand in the middle. The baddest one hit my hand. Now hit him. Y'all ever done that? People, y'all remember that in the chat? You remember that folk had? You might be young. They may have not been doing that when you would come up. Huh? You remember neither one of them? Well, guess what? Ain't no stick on our shoulder. They doing it to our little babies. They doing it to our women. They choking our men out on TV. They crying, calling for their mama. I can't breathe. They done knocked the stick off the shoulder. And after they knocked the stick off the shoulder, we curled up. What is we gonna do? Huh? What is we gonna do? It's time for a call for action. A call for action. I yield the mic.
Yeah, and what up, Matilda? And yeah, like they said, that was supposed to be a knock warrant, but you know the way they do it, you can knock like for 15 seconds and then you can run in somebody's house, and apparently they did it so he couldn't hear it. You know what I'm saying? Let me share the screen real quick. So like this brother, he wasn't even involved in no investigation, and somebody just busted in his house at 5 in the morning, and he did what he's supposed to do. And that's another thing about, you know what I'm saying, you being you protecting yourself, you being strapped up, you know, because you never know. And then even then he stopped and didn't you know, keep shooting. He apologized for shooting at the police because he didn't know. you know, and apparently according to the older child, the police just dropped this baby out of his arms and dropped him on the ground face first on the concrete. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, you know, that was a lot of the stuff that y'all saw. But, you know, this was the picture of the little baby and, like, you know, who just got dropped on the ground. And, you know what I'm saying? So apparently, you know, the police just dropped this baby, didn't even get her like help or nothing like that. And of course, none of the police was charged or whatever. All right. And so they said the EMS got there 6 minutes later, and they was not taken to the hospital by EMS. So the baby, the mother had to take the baby herself. So, you know, they wasn't even gonna take this baby to the hospital, you know. And there's been no I'm trying to get to he faces because they said he wasn't charged. It said he faces charge of attempted murder of a law enforcement officer, which he lost his job over. On top of all his charges, he has to also think now somebody hurt my baby. He doesn't have a criminal record. Police say he is not a suspect in the investigation they were doing, and they have no idea why the police would want information from his home. You know what I'm saying? So they eventually did drop the charges on him like last week or whatever, and this happened probably like 2 months ago. But he had nothing to do with nothing, and he probably still don't have a job or nothing like that. And you know what I'm saying? Of course, none of the cops were charged and no punishment or nothing like that. So yeah, Bakar, you got anything else to say about that one?
No, I ain't got nothing yet.
All right. Because yeah, it doesn't matter about the age, you know what I'm saying? Another brother who, you know, the police, like he fell on his face, you know what I'm saying, at the hands of the police. So I'm gonna show y'all this next video. And it's like 2 of them. It's like I'm gonna let you hear him and then I'm gonna show y'all the story. All right.
Let me see if I can turn up the brightness.
Y'all just gotta.
I can't make
Alright,
it
guys,
large.
you're back, okay? Yeah, they understand. You start letting them know what happened.
I was helping my mom move. And I had turned the corner in Chicago Street. And the police had surrounded me, saying that I looked like this other person. Okay. And I told them that wasn't me. And a whole other officer pulled up and told him that wasn't me. I wasn't with that crowd. So I turned around to walk away. I get tased in my back. And I woke up in the hospital like this. You think I'm gonna eat that granola bar? No nuts, no dairy, no. I don't drink alcohol at all. So for a person to say I just failed, I didn't.
Tell them who brought you here.
Michigan City Police Department brought me here and left me here. They said I wasn't arrested, I wasn't being detained, or anything. They did this to me, you guys.
Let me know if I'm being too rough, okay? Oh, yeah, because I seen he was slobbing. I know that's I hate.
All right. So, you know, what happened was the police stopped him. He was not involved in nothing, you know what I'm saying? And he fit the description, you know, even though he didn't fit the description, he was a black male. So he fit the description, kind of like, you know, when people told me when I fit the description, well, they may have been looking for somebody who looks like you. Yeah, a black male. So, you know, he fit the description. And as much as they're going to try to criminalize him, notice that he said he wasn't charged, he wasn't facing charges, because they're trying to make it seem like he had warrants for his arrest. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what you like, remember, whatever you see here, he wasn't charged. The police brought him to the hospital after this, and like I said, they didn't charge him with anything, as much as they try to criminalize him.
Breaking news, police in Michigan City, Indiana just released body cam video of an incident involving officers and a man who is now seriously injured. This is how it all started. Police say he matched the description of someone involved in a suspicious vehicle report.
Nah, like if it's a better shot of his face, look at his face compared to his face when you just seen it, So, this is and I think the police say he just fell, but y'all see the story.
His family doesn't believe it.
When it's fitting the description, going to stop. My son is a good guy.
The family of Tahir Kelly says his injuries are too severe for them to believe what police tell them happened. In our report coming up, you will see a picture of Kelly in the hospital, and we do want to warn you that it's graphic.
The incident in question happened Tuesday in Michigan City, Indiana. Our Michelle Gallardo there now live where she viewed officer body cam video. Michelle?
That's right, Rob and Judy. Now, that 18-minute video was released within the last hour. It comes from a single body cam. And Michigan City Police say that this 18-minute video shows their interaction with Kelly from the moment that they were questioning him until he is loaded into the ambulance. They believe that what was released basically justifies the extent of their actions and the means that were used to bring him into custody. But that is not what Kelly's family is saying, insisting that this entire episode should never have happened. Justified use of force or not depends on who you ask. Michigan City Police body cam video released this afternoon shows an interaction between themselves and 26-year-old Tahir Kelly, which took place on April the 5th. In it, we see officers stop Kelly as they are searching for what they say was a suspicious vehicle, chasing two men on foot, indicating that one of the two men might be armed.
What's your last name, bro? Benson. Huh? Benson. Benton? Benson. Benson. B-E-N-S-O-N. What's your first name?
The officer wearing the camera then goes back to his squad briefly, then returns to question Kelly some more.
So then what's your real name? Because now you're working your way into something else. Okay, so you can tell me your real name or I can just take you to jail. Make up your mind.
Real name's Tahir.
I don't get no return. Name and date of birth, bud.
That is my last name's Kelly.
Kelly is then seen running away from officers as one of them tries to place him into custody. During the chase, they then deploy a taser and Kelly falls to the ground. His family, however, insisting this morning there is more to it, releasing this graphic hospital photo showing the severity of his facial injuries.
You're tased and you fall. Now, how do you get it scraped? How's the whole side of your face scraped? All of his teeth are up and they got to get them out. And we was told they may have to take him to Indianapolis to get surgery on his face because his face is fractured.
Kelly's family was shown the video yesterday. This morning, his mother says she closed her eyes before her son was tased, unwilling to see what happened next. The family also did not address the police department's claim that they recovered a weapon from Kelly, also shown in the video.
Gun.
Two different individuals share with the officer who tased Tahir that Tahir wasn't the person they were looking for, and yet he got tased.
Kelly's family insisting he was not the person police were looking for and should not have been stopped to begin with. In a statement released this afternoon by police along with the body cam video, they make it clear they believe the matter to be settled, saying in part, additional information pertaining to this incident will not be released at this time in order to protect the integrity of this ongoing investigation. Now, for now, Kelly remains hospitalized at Franciscan here in Michigan City, and police are saying they are pursuing charges against him for providing a false identity, for resisting law enforcement, and for carrying a firearm without a permit. But there are still those who are saying there is more to it. In fact, I'm not sure. Oh, they're already gone. Just a couple of minutes ago, we still had a group of folks here.
All right. So anyway, they're now saying they're going to pursue charges for quote unquote resisting arrest and giving a false name and having a gun in America, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So, I just wanted to show y'all that story. And before y'all go, I just want y'all to see what y'all fellow white Americans feel. You know what I'm saying? Just say, hey, don't do this, don't do this. And he brought this upon himself, you know what I'm saying? He lied because he had now I don't know where they got this he had 2 warrants from and all of this stuff. I love how people are trying to justify it and all of this stuff. This is I'm not even sharing the screen, so let me share it real quick. Because I want y'all to see the people who's saying this stuff, your fellow Americans, you know what I'm saying? So, so what do you think about that, Bakari? This guy, Doofus, was armed and ran and, fell into it's his own fault, and the police caught a criminal, even though he wasn't a criminal. But yeah, Bakari, go ahead.
They say all black, like what Big Mike saying in that song, they say a big black nigga did the killing and I fit the description. They say all black niggas look alike, so now they got the flashlight looking for Big Mike. We got to turn the tape. I can't remember no more, but I remember that part, and forgive me for saying that word, but I'm just saying. Like he said in that song, we got to turn the tables, man. We can't continue to go down this road talking about what people is doing to us, how people is killing us. It's not okay for us to be beaten, tased, murdered. None of that is okay. None of that. Regardless of what anybody think, none of that is okay. So in order for us to do what we are supposed to do, we got to turn the tables on these folks. We gonna have to stand up. And that's just the honest truth, man. It is what it is, regardless of people want to hear it or not. I had got to a point one time, like I said, I don't even want to watch it no more, right? Because I know how it ends with us, right? Hold on one second.
Yeah, Bakari, you can jump back in whenever you're done. But yeah, I understand what you're saying though, and I'm showing these videos because I mean, some got to make you be willing to do something. They could do stuff to your 1-year-old baby and show it on the news, and none of you is willing to step up and do nothing. And they'll do the same thing to a grown man, and it don't matter where you come from or none of that stuff, because they're not stopping to check your ideology. You understand? They attack all of us, and they do it on this code. You understand? And that's why go ahead, Bakari.
Oh, you can go ahead. I was just letting you know I was back.
No, go ahead. I was just talking while you was out. Go ahead.
And when you say a code, that's one thing, I'm gonna tell you, when I hear people say get on code, get on code, get on code. That's the craziest thing in the world to me. I guess it sounds good for YouTube. Or see how quick they get on code. No, man, people live by code. All that, I'm sick of that get on code bullshit. Because if the code ain't in you, it ain't in you. If it's not in you to protect black people, it ain't gonna all of a sudden get in you because you see something happening. Because you know what we gonna do if we see it? Let me pull out my phone. Let me get his name, his or her name. Let me do a background check and make sure this black person is perfect, the one that they're killing. That's what that even when we get whatever, we have to be perfect. Because I'm telling you, that brother right there who was in that hospital, whatever they did to him, you're going to find people looking up his background. And God forbid if he done dated outside. God forbid if he done something wrong. So then they ain't going to care. They're not going to care. So they get on code nonsense, need to be balled up, thrown it away, put in a brown paper bag, put that brown paper bag in the garbage can and take that to the damn incinerator, because you got to live by a code. And if that code ain't in you, it ain't in you. And it's just that simple. If the code is not in you to love and care about black people, and you're a black person, it's not in you. And according to this YouTube stuff, most of the black people on in this social media shit hate black people that is pro-black. So all that get on code, or they hate black people from another place. Like you was telling me about, you saw one where they did something to this African brother. Did you show that one?
No, I was gonna go to that one next.
Yeah, they're not gonna. Just like they said when they was what they did to the Haitians at their border. They better hold their own nuts, man. This social media. That's why I said to hell with YouTube. And I'm being honest with you. The only I'm gonna completely get away. The only social media I'm gonna be doing is fan base, and that's just a fact. Because this YouTube bullshit ain't nothing but bullshit on YouTube, man. I ain't talking about what you doing now. I'm talking about the people, and I'm not talking about what we do. I'm talking about the people who gonna get on here and figure out a way to say something negative about black people that's been beaten or killed because they're black. Because they're gonna look for something because it's not in them. But I'm telling y'all right now, I put it in the chat. Black men better stop acting like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. So y'all motherfuckers ain't ready. If y'all ain't trying to get ready, to hell with you. And I'm just being honest. I don't even want to be around you. And I don't give a damn who it is. And if they don't like what I say, oh well. And I mean every damn word I say. That's why on my channel, in fact, nope, you ain't. If this is what you're talking about, I don't even want you to be around. Go somewhere else. Go find somebody else who want to play with you. Because playtime is over. Playtime is over. We gonna fucking be extinct. And we still want to play. And I'm just being honest, man. It's fucking, it's frustrating. It's upsetting. It make you want to go do something. But that's why you have to control your emotions. Don't let your emotions control you. But man, we got to come together and we got to do better than this. We got to organize and we got to strategize, because we got to do better than what we're doing. And we got to stop this bullshit that's happening, because there ain't no magic hand gonna touch them and say, y'all need to leave the black folks alone. I get it, Mike.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna go to the next one, and I don't know if Bakari gonna make a fan base room tonight. I don't know if it's gonna be too late. That's why I'm trying to hurry up and get through these last videos right here. But yeah, Bakari, you brought it up. It was another brother, and like I said, I talk about all of this stuff because like we try to separate ourselves and act like we ain't each other, but it still seems like the same rules apply. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you go around the globe, the darker you are, the worse you're treated. And I know people don't want to call themselves black, but hey, I mean, no matter what you call yourself, the same thing is still happening. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just happening to black people in America or to black people that call themselves American. It happens to all of us. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. So I'm gonna share the next screen share. All right, so bear with me on this one.
It's been 1 week since a Grand Rapids police officer shot and killed 26-year-old Patrick Lyoya during an alleged traffic stop.
Michigan State Police continue to investigate what happened, and we learned today the officer still has not been questioned.
A spokesperson says the reason why is unknown.
13 on your side's Carla Byron joins us now to break down the timeline of events. Carla.
Yeah, we're going to take a look back to day one of the shooting death investigation, leading up to today, where the case has drawn the attention of a national civil rights attorney. Monday, April 4th, around 8 a.m., a Grand Rapids police officer initiates a traffic stop on a car near the intersection of Griggs and Nelson Southeast. Police say the driver exited the car, ran away, and the officer gave chase.
A lengthy struggle ensued between the officer and that person, and the officer discharged his weapon, killing the driver of that vehicle. During the struggle, the officer lost his body-worn camera. We can see that the camera is still on scene and it is still activated, so we are anxious to recover that camera and review that video.
The investigation was turned over to Michigan State Police. Later that afternoon, the city manager, mayor, police chief, and director of oversight and public accountability addressed the incident.
The police officer involved in this by contract has 72 hours to make a statement to the Michigan State Police. That's common in the police field, to give the officer 2 full sleep cycles so that they can give a clear truthful response to the questions.
Police stated the vehicle had a license plate not registered to that vehicle. Body worn and in-car camera footage were recovered, as well as video from private sources.
I intend to release the video as soon as feasible. My intention is to do so sometime next week.
A neighbor told us she recorded this cell phone video after hearing a gunshot outside her home.
It was right across the street, right over there by that wooden fence. He was on the ground, just laying there, and the cops were in the street.
Tuesday, April 5th, police announced the victim of the shooting was 26-year-old Patrick Lyoya. Wednesday, April 6th, the NAACP Greater Grand Rapids branch demanded all video of the shooting be released for transparency. Thursday, April 7th, Kent County prosecutor Chris Becker requested the police not release any evidence until the investigation is complete so it wouldn't be compromised. Friday, April 8th, Patrick's father, Peter, told us through an interpreter the incident was not a traffic stop, and Patrick's car had broken down in the street when the officer showed up. He claims Michigan State Police showed him dash cam video of the altercation and demanded the video be released as well.
Kamfunga mikono kwa nyuma,
and Patrick's hand was on the back,
katosha bunduki,
and he took the gun,
kamtia kwenye kichwa,
and put on the head,
na kampiga risasi,
and they shot Patrick from the back of the head.
Because the video has not been released yet, 13 on Your Side can't independently verify these claims.
Show the video! Show the video! We want the world to know!
Saturday, April 9th, the community held a protest and candlelight vigil calling for justice. Sunday, April 10th, National Civil Rights Attorney Ben Crump, who's represented the families of Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery, spoke at a forum in Grand Rapids. He continued calls for justice and has since been retained by Patrick's family.
It was a traffic stop. You should not be sentenced to death over a traffic stop.
Chief Eric Winstrom has stated he'll release the video no later than noon this Friday.
All right, so number one, I know we always want to have this hatred and separate ourselves in our own identity, you understand, but the police claim that this was a traffic stop, but his dad said his car broke down and he was on the side of the road, right? And you saw how many cops was there. And by the way, notice how they didn't even question the cops. Now I wonder if I commit a crime, they're gonna give me 48 hours to sleep and think about, what I want to say. But they still haven't even interviewed the cop a week later, let alone charged them with anything or did anything like that. And I'm gonna show y'all what his father said happened. But Bakar, you want to say something first?
Go on. Shit, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right.
Na napenda zaidi nionyeshwe mwili wa mtoto wangu.
I want more. What I want right now is to see the body of my son.
Continuing coverage this evening of a deadly officer-involved shooting in Grand Rapids. A little more than an hour ago, the police chief put out a statement on when we can expect to see video of that incident.
Yeah, it reads, quote, "Since this tragic event occurred on Monday morning and in the hours and days that followed, I have been consistent in my commitment to transparency. I have publicly stated my intention to release the video next week, and I intend to keep that promise. I have also committed to protecting the integrity of the investigation in the interests of justice and accountability. I have informed the Michigan State Police and the Kent County prosecutor that I will release the video no later than noon on Friday, April 15th. But for the family of the man killed, that just simply isn't soon enough." Fox 17's Lauren Edwards sat down with the victim's father. She joins us now live from the newsroom with more. Lauren?
Max Janice, Peter Lyoya is in pain, and the Congolese community too. All he wants is justice for his son and for video of his death to be made public. Peter has seen that video and is sharing his account.
Hapa naumia sana.
Right now I'm bleeding, I'm hurt.
Peter Lyoya mourning the loss of his 26-year-old son, Patrick.
Patrick alikuwa mtu kabisa kijana wa mchangamushi.
And Patrick was a a lively person. He loved to create an environment, atmosphere to be around people.
Teaching people how to dance. It was his passion. But Monday morning, Patrick was shot and killed by a police officer near the intersection of Griggs and Nelson. The department says it followed a traffic stop and a lengthy struggle. The Lyoya family says Patrick was already stopped on the side of the road and there was no struggle. This past Wednesday, Peter, who is Congolese and speaks Swahili, and his interpreter, Israel Siku, says they were shown the dash camera video. Fox 17 has not seen the video, but we want to share the family's account.
Basi hapo polisi askari huyo ametosha bunduki na kumpasua mtoto kichwa.
And from that moment, he took the gun and he shot him in the back of the head.
Sasa nimeona kabisa kama mtoto wangu ameuawa unyama.
And I see that my son was killed like an animal.
Since then, Peter says he's been grieving and asking to see his son.
Na napenda zaidi nionyeshwe mwili wa mtoto wangu.
I want more. What I want right now is to see the body of my son.
Na ninapenda nijue kisa na maana kilichotuma wanamuua mtoto wangu.
And I want to know the reason and the purpose why my son has been killed.
Peter also says he's been pushing to get the video released. He wants people to see the full-length video so they know the truth.
Siwezi nikafurahia mwingine mzazi kama mimi.
And I cannot wish another parent like me,
awe mzungu,
white,
awe mweusi,
or black,
afikiwe na haya ambayo yamenifikia.
to go through the situation that I went through to lose my son.
All right, so no matter what language we speak, we don't want it to happen to white people first, you know what I'm saying? We always got to make that qualifier, no matter what language. But, you know, this is why we got to be careful with these stereotypes, because it didn't matter where he was from, you know what I'm saying? What up, Tanzan? It didn't matter where he was from, you know, like he said, you still got shot down like an animal, you know what I'm saying? And we still talking about, I don't want this to happen to anyone, Mexican, white, Chinese, and we always say black last, you know what I'm saying? But yo, forget all that. But yo, what's going on, Bakari?
I don't want it to happen to anyone either, anyone black. And I mean
Yeah,
that.
but maybe if it happened to other people, they'll start feeling, you know what I'm saying?
Other
That's
people, it ain't got nothing to do with them. But shit.
No,
You
I'm
know,
talking
man,
about I'm talking about us doing it to other people and not ourselves. That's what I'm talking about.
Man, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of this bullshit. But I'm telling you what getting ready to happen. Now this fucking social media finna make me sick and tired of that bullshit. Cause I'm telling you what gonna happen, dude. You're gonna hear people talking extremely negative about that brother. Cause he was a continental African. You understand? Cause he wasn't a diasporan. He was a continental. He ain't a black American. I wonder if they asked him if he was black American or if he was a continental African. I wonder if they asked him that. I wonder if they could look and tell the difference. Back to the point what MG2 always saying, I got it from him. I forget who he say he got it from. But white folks in the rest of the world is more Pan-African than African people because they don't see a difference. We want to find a difference to make sure the whole world know that I'm different than them. I'm better than them. Black folks from this country, the so-called black Americans, the happy slaves. Then we want to come on and we want to debate. And I'm just being honest, man. So for all any of this bullshit come my way, I'm just going ahead cutting it down right now. Ain't no need to come around me with that. So if anybody listening that want to come around with that, don't come around me with it. Cause I don't want to hear it. You understand? It might bother some people. But I'm just being honest. I don't care. I mean, I really don't care no more. I hold your own nuts. I can hear that chant from black. Cause see, my thing is right. White people, this system, they doing what they supposed to do. We ain't doing what we supposed to do. We ain't doing. Everybody doing what they supposed to do except us. Everybody. Everybody doing what they supposed to do except us. We not doing what we supposed to do. Ain't that some shit? We ain't doing what we supposed to do. I don't want this to happen to nobody. Fuck that. That dude, Them police that hurt that little baby. Them police that hurt that dude. You saw his face. Them police that killed that man. That killed Breonna Taylor. That killed George Floyd. I don't even want to keep saying people's name. All them motherfuckers need to die. All of them need to be dead. All of them. All of them. They probably gonna come look for me and say I'm a black identity extremist. Yep, I am. I'm a black identity extremist. Yep. Because I don't want to put up with y'all shit. And I ain't gonna put up with y'all shit. Black people, man, if we don't see what's going on, and if we don't organize, we in big trouble. We gonna be extinct in the next 50 years, 100 years. We gonna be extinct. We worry about hip hop. If hip hop can change some things, let it change some things. You understand? I've heard people today arguing about who created hip hop. Who gives a shit? Where they were from? Were they Black Americans or were they Caribbean? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? We cut the check. All we want is a check. Cut the check. Cut the check. Now, blood debts got to be paid in blood. How many of our people they got to kill before we realize money ain't gonna fix that? They can give you all the fucking money they want and still shoot your ass down. Money ain't gonna fix that. And if they did give you some money, you think gas prices is high now? Gas gonna go up to $8 a gallon. Y'all ain't tired yet? I'm just wondering. Anybody in the chat, y'all tired of this shit yet? Is anybody tired yet? Huh? I know that's a hell of a question. Because if you answer that question, yeah, you tired, then the next question gonna be what we ready to do. Anybody in the chat, y'all tired yet? Huh? Anybody on the panel, y'all tired yet? We ain't tired of this yet? Man, I yield the mic, man.
All right. And I'll say that, and Tanzan, if you want to come on before we get off here, you can come on here. And yeah, so hold on one second, let me see. Because there's one more after that. But let me say this, and that's why I say, we got to be careful with these stereotypes, because for me, and I understand that now all black people in America feel like that, and like, they'll be like, nah, that's wrong, but there are a lot who would say that, you know what I'm saying? And we got to be careful with stereotypes. And for me too, like the black people from other places saying, oh, maybe they deserve that because they see and hear stuff on the media and that we're just killers and thugs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That, like, for me, that goes on both sides, and we have to be careful with the stereotypes that we have against each other, because like them, they just see you as nothing but an animal. They're not gonna stop and check where you come from, what language you speak, what's your ideology, you know what I'm saying, what's your religion, whatever, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you fit the description, and that's all they need to know. You don't fit the description to have the protection until you start making that protection. And yeah, Bakari, I am tired of it, and that's why I show it, because like it seems like black people will be unified for about a week when there's something like this that happens, but we should be mad. And you should embrace that angriness. Like, you have your feelings and your emotions for a reason, and it's really probably smarter than us, because we ain't smart enough to use our emotions and our feelings to our advantage. We are controlled by them. We don't control them. You should be mad, because anytime that you see stuff like this, you should be mad that that kind of stuff is happening. We should be mad that our parents don't live as long as they need to live, that our kids aren't getting educated the way they need to, that we don't have hospitals and banks and all of that kind of stuff. That should be what we really mad about. But it seemed like this the only thing that get people willing to at least act like they're willing to do something. You know what I'm saying? When something like this happens, but it's like, we stay with this this white savior complex that we have, you know what I'm saying? And that's everywhere, you know what I'm saying? It's not just America, it's black people everywhere. We have this complex where we looking for our enemies who's doing this very thing to save us. And it's never gonna happen. Why would they ever give up the position that they're in, especially when they can just shoot you down and not even get questioned? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go to the last one. Bakar, you want to say something before we go to the last one?
Nah,
All right, and yeah, this one you put me on too. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, oh yeah, and they're gonna supposedly show this video no later than this Friday, or April the 15th. So we'll see if they do that, and we'll see, what happened with that case, and you know what I'm saying, and all of these cases that I'm showing. So, you know what I'm saying, yo, what up, Slang Nocturnal? What's going on, my good brother? But yo, this is the last one I want to show. Y'all remember that little white girl who attacked that black teen or whatever? Just recently, she got a plea deal and doesn't have to go to jail, even though she was already on probation and stuff like that and had other cases going on. So let me play this video.
Breaking news. Mia Ponsetto, the woman caught on cell phone video wrongly accusing a black teenager of stealing her cell phone, faced a judge today.
And she avoided jail time after securing a plea deal. CBS 2's Thalia Perez live outside Manhattan Criminal Court with more. Thalia.
Maurice and Cindy, as part of that deal, Mia Ponsetto pleaded guilty to 2 of the charges. The top count, unlawful imprisonment in the second degree as a hate crime, and a misdemeanor, aggravated harassment, also in the second degree. Now, she avoided jail time, but she must stay out of trouble.
Now, she got probation and avoided jail for having a hate crime.
Now, she avoided jail time, but she must stay out of trouble for 2 years. Mia Ponsetto said nothing as she walked out of court this afternoon after making a plea deal with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
We obviously are happy and relieved that this ordeal is over for both Mr. Harold and Ms. Ponsetto.
Ponsetto was accused of attacking 14-year-old Keon Harold Jr. and his father in the lobby of the Arlo Hotel in Soho in December of 2020, falsely accusing the teen of stealing her cell phone. Surveillance video captured the 22-year-old confronting the teen and then tackling him. It turned out that Harold never had her cell phone.
Are you kidding me? You feel like there's only one iPhone made in the world?
No, okay, then show me the.
No, get a life.
Harold is the son of a prominent jazz trumpeter, Keon Harold Sr., who also recorded the altercation on his cell phone. In an exclusive interview with CBS This Morning's Gayle King, Ponsetto said her actions were not racially charged.
I'm sincerely sorry to the family and the dad and the son for making them feel as if I was racist towards them.
Shortly after Ponsetto's court appearance, District Attorney Bragg released a statement saying in part, Ms. Ponsetto displayed outrageous behavior. As a black man, I have personally experienced racial profiling countless times in my life, and I sympathize with the young man victimized in this incident. This plea ensures appropriate accountability for Ms. Ponsetto by addressing underlying causes for her behavior and ensuring this conduct does not reoccur.
Now, this is the words of the black DA. He's saying this was appropriate accountability. All right, so bear with me because there's one more I did want to show because there was something else in this that I see said something. I forgot.
We have an update tonight on a story that went viral and sparked uproar across the country. The woman caught on camera attacking a black teenager at a Soho hotel just pleaded guilty. News 4's Jessica Cunnington is live outside of the court with what exactly happened today. Jessica.
Yeah, Rana, Mia Ponsetto pleaded guilty to a hate crime charge for falsely accusing a black teenager of taking her phone and then attacking him at the Arlo Soho hotels. This was back in 2020. And let's show you video right now of the 23-year-old walking out of court today. She pleaded guilty to unlawful imprisonment in the second degree as a hate crime. She did not make a statement today as she walked out with her lawyer there. But what happened that day went viral. You remember the surveillance video from December 2020 that shows Ponsetto grabbing the then 14-year-old Keon Harold Jr. after accusing him repeatedly of stealing her phone, then attacking him, even dragging him down to the floor. Now, under the terms of this plea, Ponsetto must abide by the terms of her California probation from another separate case and continue counseling as well. The judge also ordered her to have no further interaction with the criminal justice system or face prison time.
Ms. Ponsetto is thankful for the thoughtfulness and the empathy
Yeah, that's the part I want. What our lawyer was saying the judge did for her.
the DA's office showed. It was an unfortunate incident on that night. Ms. Ponsetto is thankful for the thoughtfulness and the empathy that the DA's office showed. It was an unfortunate incident on that night, and hopefully it won't be repeated. She has been great, has led an exemplary life since the last, I believe, year and a half since this happened. So hopefully we could put this behind us and keep going.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg said in a statement that
Well,
Ponsetto's
y'all just saw what he said about it. But, you know, of course, this unfortunate incident that this crazy white bitch was in. Yo, what up, guy? What up, Dwayne? Oh, okay, yeah, I hope you're feeling better, my brother. But yeah, you see, she and by the way, she was already on probation when she did this, and it didn't even affect the other probation. And as long as she follows that probation, this probation, maybe she can mess up one more time as long as it's a black kid, and she might get one more probation, and then she may face like a week in jail. So, you know what I'm saying? And now they just want to put it behind them. The past is the past when it comes to stuff like this. But yeah, go ahead, Bakari.
Look, man, I'm gonna be honest. Ain't nothing else I can say, man. I'm just being straight up honest with you, man. I've said what I can say. And if we ain't sick and tired, and if we ain't ready, and if we ain't trying to get ready, and I ain't talking about one or two people. How about 1 or 200,000? How about 1 or 2 million? Huh? We ain't ready as men to get out here and say this shit gonna stop. I don't get it. I really don't, man. I don't know. That boy should have punched her in her face. Her daddy his daddy should have punched her in the face. You know, punched the shit out of her. But hey, but as long as we let them do that and just gonna complain about racism and complain about what they do and how they are, you know, it gonna continue. But they are doing what they supposed to do. We ain't doing what we supposed to do. It's just that simple, man. I get like.
All right. Yeah, facts, Dwayne. So yeah, if anybody want to come on, you know what I'm saying, let me know. We about to get off here in a minute. Hey, Bakari, you about to make a room?
Shit, I'm gonna have to relax. See, I'm starting to stutter a little bit. This shit got me pissed off. I really, no, man. I don't know. I got messed up in the military, and I started stuttering, man. I just had. I'm gonna have. It may have been a little while. I had to calm down a little bit, but I think I'm more pissed off. I'm already preparing for the highest point of festivity. I'm gonna be with black folks who want to look and do a background check, even though they know they got killed and being fucked with because they black, so they can say something about them. But I figured out, right, what that is, because they don't want it. It's hard for them to say they're gonna step up.
Oh yeah, I already know that, my brother. Yo, all of that stuff is coming from fear, and you know what I'm saying, like, and you know that's why I be kind of vague when I be talking about the slippery slope and all of that kind of stuff, because like, yo, this kind of stuff we can't keep allowing it to happen in our community, because any one of us could be next at any time, and that's the truth. Like, people want to argue about a bunch of dumb stuff because they know in reality, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna have to actually face the consequences. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's going on, my brother guy?
Yeah, what's going on, gods? How's everything, brother Kari? Forecast, how y'all brothers doing?
Good, my brother, good.
Everything's everything, my man.
Now, I'm gonna be honest, but like I said, I'm a ride with brother Bakari on this, because how long we gonna keep hearing those stories, how these people disrespect us? And then the funny thing about it, we don't have value within ourselves. So anytime when people glorify, I'll just give you a perfect example, the Will Smith and Chris Rock. You got Negroes glorifying that. Oh, Will Smith is a revolutionary. Yo, that shit don't look good. You know what I'm saying? That black people harming each other in front of white folks. And then you expect white people gonna be nice to us after that?
I don't know what happened. Guy just fell off. All right, but until he get back, I'll say this. Yeah, Bakari, the whole point was to kind of piss you off, because if you're not pissed off, you know what I'm saying, that means you ain't where you supposed to be. Yo, got back. So go ahead, my brother.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so like we have smoke for each other, and I've seen it time and time again, time and time. We have smoke for each other, and we go hard on each other. The world's looking at this. The world looking at how pathetic we look when we do that. Like I'm all about fair game, right? I'm all like, if we're gonna go do that, we should make an example out of them too. But this goes back. This is nothing new. They've been bombing our churches. They've been lynching us and all this other stuff. And yeah, you had certain communities that fought back, but not as a collective, not as where if Brother Bakari got a problems in Atlanta, right? He can call me. I'm coming down there. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming down there, you know what I'm saying? I got your back. I'm bringing my dudes with me. I mean, that's how we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be like, yo, I got smoke with these clowns or whatever, these gooks or whatever, these peckerwoods. All right. Like, all right, just because I know we can't, certain areas, certain like the north, certain places in the north, we can't, we can have guns, but it's not like it's hard to keep them. You know what I'm saying? But I know the south is easier to carry. So, I may be like, yo, hold me down. I'm coming down there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how we're supposed to do it. We're supposed to just, when it comes down to that, we're supposed to just ride on them. You know what I'm saying? And face the consequences later. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just gonna have to get to that point. Because we act gangster to each other, no problem. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to these people, I'm not with that. I'm just don't have that in me. I don't have that pulling out my cell phone and, oh my God, I'm going to the press. Nah, man, I'm gonna just take care of you, just like Brother Bakari said, punch them in their face, beat the shit out of them. I gotta be careful what I say on it because I don't want to get your channel get flagged down. But you know what I mean? Like
Go ahead. Hey, God, go ahead.
Nah.
I'm already got flags all day, my brother. I'm good.
But it's just like I'm just tired of that. Like I'm not built like that. I'm not built for no sucker. I'm just saying, I grew up like I could just tell just by talking to y'all brothers, y'all from a different cloth. Y'all from the same cloth as me. Like we ain't tolerating that. We ain't going to no we ain't crying to no Al Sharpton. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing none of that. We ain't going to no church. We ain't going that. You know what I'm saying? It's just more like they bring it to us, we're gonna bring it to them. And that's how it is. So and we just gotta bring that gangsterism towards them. We listen to a lot of this gangster music. Like I love gangster music. I ain't gonna lie, I love that shit. But the problem is, I'm like, I'm gonna bring the fight to them. You know what I mean? I'm gonna bring the fire to them. Cause we talk all that street stuff, we talk all that tough talk on YouTube. The biggest bad dudes on YouTube. Look at Young Pharaoh. He talk all that. He's another dude. And I just did a video on him talking all that hard, tough talk. But you shooting at a female, you shooting at your baby mother, and you got kids in the house, and you bragging all that, talking about, oh, I can't see my kids. So she was like, damn, but you didn't have to shoot up my residence where I live at. He was like, I don't care. Like, how he get a pass for that? Like, you don't get no pass for that shooting at no woman. You know what I mean? But no one cares. You know what I'm saying? People are still gonna worship him. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? You got dudes abusing our women and all that. You know what I'm saying? Nature Boy, call himself 3 God. Everybody know he's gay. You know what I'm saying? But people worship, like, it's just like people worship and praise the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? We out here fighting for our women. We fighting for our children. And we don't even get the respect that we deserve. And we see these cowards. We saw one, I just talked about one chick, that Nandy chick. She's crying to the police. I talked about that. But she's supposed to be the new Black Panther Party. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you bow down to the white cops, and you supposed to be in this organization that y'all could carry weapons. Not me. I can't. I'm not a weak dude like that. But I think, and I think this is what y'all was saying too, right? It's all about knowing who you are, right? If we come from warriors and we claim that we kings and queens, like I come from the same tribe as Queen is. Check this out. I come from the same tribe as Queen Nzinga. So I come from power. I come from strength. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. You got to know who you are. And I think a lot of our people, they don't really know who they are. So when it comes down to the enemy, they cow down. They talk tough around black people because they don't want to get punked. But reality, they really scared. And we see that time and time again. So they come off with this. They give it this illusion like they're gangster. But real gangsters ain't afraid of nobody. And that's how when I see y'all, when I talk to y'all, I could tell y'all ain't afraid of no man or no man. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we got to be. So when you play those news and all that, yeah, it does bother me because it's just like, damn, I can't be like that. I'm not no coward like that. It would just be like, yo, it's gonna be like I'm gonna whip the shit out of them or do them in, and then ask questions later or whatever. It's just this how it is. Because when they kill us, do whatever they want to us, and they walk away like nothing happened, or they come up with the most bogus excuses, and people buy into that bullshit. So if they can do it and get away with it, I think I know I can do it and get away with it. And I can say, and check this out, I have a legit reason. I could say, hey, they called me the N-word, or they said something racist to or they said something about they was going to do something to my children or whatever, some racist stuff to my children, and I had to respond violently. See, we have a reason. They don't. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't want to take too long, but I like I said, I agree with Brother Bakari, and I know watching that stuff can be seeing black people bitch up like that. It becomes depressing, and it does bring your spirit down. You know what I mean? So I believe in fighting back. There's no more of that. No more of that. Punkism. You know what I'm saying? All that punkism and bitching up and all that. That's no more. This is a new day, man. Like we this is a new era. This is a new millennium. And black people still acting like they live in the 1930s. It's just crazy, man. That's all I gotta say, man. I yield the mic.
All right. And let me say this, because like you brothers is right to be, what I'm saying, mad or feel some type of way about these videos. And that's why I show them, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that I can never, and that's the crazy part about it. I've been like making videos like this for years, and I could never run out of videos like this. I could never run out of names. And the more I'm not doing it, the more names get added to this list. And that's why I be doing it on here, because I know a lot of people like really like the premieres, and they get a lot of information, and there's a lot of cases that just not promoted. And also I try to show y'all how they show, like on the news, how they use propaganda, how they use how they word stories, and try to show y'all, you know what I'm saying, the way they use the word criminal and warrants and all of this kind of stuff to show y'all how they use it. And it's like y'all said, we scared to do something about it. That's why we always talking about and doing stuff to each other. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, that's why I'll be making my page like I do. Like I only go after other people, because I know like it's not too many spaces that's most spaces they'll be like, oh Lord, don't talk about the enemy. That's why I tell y'all can say whatever y'all want. That shyster, I ain't gonna say that that Polish shyster bitch, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what's up, Blue? What's up, Blue? Yo, that Polish shyster bitch, you be blocking my channel all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I be like, yo, y'all can say whatever y'all want, because they block me for BS stuff anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't, you know what I'm saying, focus on other black people or try to call out people by names and stuff like that, because we can find that anywhere. Everybody is willing to step up or willing to say something about other black people or willing to do something, but I see very few people that is willing to say something like the word kike. And I like the word shyster, so I'm gonna start saying that more, you know what I'm saying? But I see very few people that's willing to do that. And if you ain't willing to do that, how do you ever feel like something is going to change? Your enemy is willing to step up if Donald Trump not elected. If they have to pay taxes, they'll burn all the tea at the harbor. But Emmett Till happened, and we still talking about why white women can't have black children. You know what I'm saying? And this is the kind of psychological issues that we have, because it's not about knowing the answers coming up. It's a psychological problem that black people seem to have. And hopefully, I don't know what else is going to take. It's been like hundreds of years. Maybe if you get pushed over to the point where you feel like you have no other choice but to do something, or utter chaos, because I'm cool with the whole world being destroyed. You know what I'm saying? If that's what it's going to take, I'm cool with that. But I don't think it's going to take that much. And I don't think that we've been not living by this code, Bakari, not living by this code as long as we think. I think we've been on the code, living on the code up until the illusion of inclusion, for the most part, because there's always going to be people not with it, and there's always going to be those kind of people, but we don't need to focus on those kind of people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely, Blue, absolutely. You already know. So, Bakari, you want to say something before I switch the subject?
What's up, Blue? It's been a long time. It's been a long time, Blue. That's it.
And yeah, Blue, come on. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Yeah, you can come on, Blue. Guy, you want to say something?
I didn't hear. I just want to say what's up, Blue. I didn't hear for that sister in a long time, and I hope all is well with her. But definitely she should have come up and show us some love, man. Like, we didn't hear from that sister in a while, man. But but Forecast, I definitely understand what you're saying. You know what I mean? And we just have to. And it is, and you know what? To be honest with you, it is embarrassing. It is embarrassing how somehow people are cowards to the enemy like that. It's just very embarrassing. And just to see how we react on these entertainment shows like Maury and making these white people rich, by the way. Now the Oscars, I give a perfect example. The Oscars going to be even more famous now. You know what I'm saying? Because of our because every time we fight and hurt each other, they get rich. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? So, like I said, death makes money. You know what I'm saying? What they say, violence and sex makes money. So, as long as we kill each other, as long as we, that's like an entertainment. We saw that in that movie, Django, right? And where the two slaves were fighting and they were betting money which slave was going to kill first, and this is how it's like the same thing, in modern times. So, and we look really pathetic when we do it, when our people, when we see that, it's sad. But I've seen those same black people like bitch up quick of the most sissiest white people or yellow people or brown people. You know what I'm saying? People like Fat Joe. I don't know why black people's afraid of Fat Joe. Fat Joe is a very disrespectful rice and beans spick. But this motherfucker say the N-word like crazy. He talking about because he says the N-word, he feel like he's blacker than us because he says the N-word. But God forbid if somebody call him a wetback or spick or whatever, he might have he probably might go have a problem with that. You know what I mean? So I'm just use him as a look how, and I'll give you a perfect example, Brother Bakari and Forecast. You saw the verses, right? Maybe I did the program called the verses with how Fat Joe called two black women crackhead hoes. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, I saw that.
How did y'all feel about that? How did y'all feel about this white Spaniard dude calling two sisters crackhead hoes, and no one, and there was no reaction. Only person who made a big deal about it was what's her name, Little Mo or whatever her name is. But she was pissed off. So I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I didn't like that, because if somebody talked about Jennifer whole pass, you know what I'm saying? I wish I was there instead of Ja Rule. I wish I would have been like, oh, so what about Jennifer whole pass? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how y'all brothers feel about that when he said that, but that shit like really pissed me off, and I don't even know how nobody didn't step up to that dude.
Yeah. And I'll answer that. But Blue just came on. Yo, what's up, Blue?
What's going on, Blue?
Oh snap! Y'all don't need to see me right now. What's up, bros? And y'all say it's been a long time, like it's been forever. It ain't. Well, it may have been. So I apologize for not checking in with y'all, but thank you for the birthday shout out. I think that's a great thing to be passing around, and I wish and hope it continues and grows, because it just felt good. You know what I mean? To have people you don't, you didn't know from nowhere come in and actually support you. So I hope that anyone, that is interested does it, because like I said, it was a good feeling. So thank y'all. And y'all gotta remember, I'm not this is not my thing. You know what I mean? This is not something that I normally do on the regular. If it was, I would have my own channel. You know what I mean? I was brought in, invited with Post initially, and because I took this talk on the normal, it's natural for me. But stepping aside and been doing some of my own things now. Don't get me wrong. I'm still pushing for us. Like that's what I do naturally. One thing that I did notice though, talking to other people, that you would think that what we're saying, the things that's being said, is easy to understand and easy to grasp, but a lot of people talk a good one, and the capacity of their understanding is just not there, to be able to put everything together and then figure out how can I move forward. So excuse me, it's really that's where we're kind of stuck. And I remember pointing out that, hey, we have to try to communicate in a different lingo, whatever the lingo is that our community and the age grouping, to what they understand, what relates to them, what touches them, what makes them move. And that's that. If we really want to touch people, that is how kind of have to be flexible. You have to look at this as a business, because when you got a community that you're trying to get to work together, that's what it is. That's how it's going to work out, where things will come together. People understand we have code, or we have rules, policies, that we can all kind of abide by to let it work out, and it won't be chaos and a lot of confusion. So that's the main thing that I've noticed, just talking to different people. I'm like, really, you don't get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just puzzled, and I'm like, just have to accept that's really what it is. So I just think strategizing on how to really reach these people. Why you think these stupid songs, that come out, especially the drill music, reach the people the way it does? Because that's what they understand. So but Bakari, you did just say something on the live that I thought was good. You said he was asking, "Are you tired?" And that right there kind of engages people. So we got to just think about it in different ways than just delivering the information, because a lot of people, they're not they're not that in depth with things um, to be able to get on the same page. For real, for real. You know, the people we talking to are maybe like-minded, you know, like us, but to reach the masses, gotta switch it up a bit to be able to reach more people.
I want to add something real quick. I definitely agree with Blue, but to add on, because I remember we did that discussion on fan base, on because Erica brought up a wonderful topic, and I'm hoping we should make another one. Shout out to Erica, and shout out to Rashid, and if I miss anybody, shout you out on anybody in the chat. Well, but you know, I was thinking that when we talk about our elders and our teachers that you know that who was black or African descendant like us, and they when we talk about how they didn't prepare us, right? When you look at other races and stuff, they always talk about you know, their presidents and their emperors, and basically they're conquerors, people that conquer. They prepare their youth of empowering them and showing them how to conquer, right? But our people, we really didn't have that. We didn't have our people showing us our conquerors and our liberators. They didn't. I didn't teach. They didn't tell us about Nat Turner. I didn't. You know, I learned about him later when I got older. Hell, even Malcolm X. All you know, everybody that were fighters. You know, they didn't even teach us about law, how you deal with the police. I mean, this is something that, and even Sister Erica has said about even about health. You know, how to take care, because we do things differently than other races of people. Our bodies are different. You know, how society look at us is different than other people. So we have to, you know, we have to operate differently. We can't be the same. And I can't even say they was trying to protect us, but not telling us the real, you know, what really goes on, really what we should do as you know, but they really didn't prepare us. And this is the reason why the majority of grew up in fear. It was always fear. The white man's do this, the lynchings. It was fear, putting fear in us. And I think most of our people did, you know, who was elders and well as our teachers and stuff. They didn't prepare. They failed in that era. And this is the reason why, you know, when we think about the white man or we think about the yellow man or whatever, we hold back. You know, it's just like the devil and Jesus complex. You know what I mean? And everything is psychological, man. And that's what happened. I think that's why, because if you look at the old civil rights movement, right? You're looking at the you know, how white people used to water hose our people, the sick dogs on our. That's just fear, man. It's fear. It's put fear in you. Look how these black people being attacked, and even on YouTube, look how white people doing. Look how white people, and it's fear, and I think we gotta start showing black people kicking ass. We gotta start showing, you know, bloody, you know, film. And just like what Brother Bakari has shown, we got to show more of that. We got to show more of other races getting beat down by us. And maybe, just maybe, black people will learn how to. And it's going to take time, because you got to keep doing it, keep showing it. So just like they showed it, look, they've been beating us with fear for almost 100 years or plus. You know, so we don't hear stories. Like our brother Bakari was telling stories how black people have fought back and stuff like. We really don't hear those stories. Why? Why they wouldn't tell these stories? Because they're part. Because I think, my opinion, black people either they didn't know themselves, or they was part of the system, and they were paid not to inform us on certain things, even when you're dealing with law, even when you're dealing with medicine or science or mathematics or whatever the case is. Because I think, look, brothers and sisters, check this out. There's easy ways to do a math problem. I remember brother Bakari has said something about. I think you had a hard time. You said that it was one curriculum. Was it statistics or something like that? I think there's an easy way to do that. But because we doing the European way, with the Europeans always complicated. It's a complicated way of things. We look at these things as hard and difficult. But I think there's always, especially if our people invented math, it should be. I think it's an easy way to get through these curriculums. Excuse me. So that's why we have to really, really get to know our culture more and find out the secrets of who we are and what our people have did. This is the reason why our history is very important. Our history is our salvation, not too much religion, but as our history, because when we go back to our history, we can be more empowered. We can be more brave. We can teach about what the Zulus and the Shantis and all whoever. Like we can teach our kids about who they are, and if you teach people other people's history, they're gonna say, well, we can't do that because that's a white thing. We can't do that because that's a yellow thing or that's a brown thing, and that's the problem. We was not taught. I know for me, and I can speak from experience, and I don't want to take too long, but from experience, I was never taught to me to be empowered. It was mainly taught. I was taught to serve, and that's what we was taught as a youth. So that's all I want to. I don't know what y'all thoughts about that, but that's what I want to say.
All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna pass it to Bakari. But that's the whole reason why I keep getting strikes is not because really what we're saying on the live, is because I'm showing like black people punching them in the face, getting knocked out. My brother Seymour will tell you all, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead, Bakari.
Blue, what's going on? How you been, man? Glad to see you back. So are you gonna be back for a little while? You still handling business?
I know you. If everybody's listening, Brother Bakari is feeling some type of way because I ain't been speaking with him. But it's no. I just feel like everybody does have their positions, right? And this is I enjoy this a whole lot, but it's not as effective as I would like it to be. And that's why when I was saying that, we should be talking, try different ways of talking. Like we got to talk like we're talking to kids at this point, because you're right, Guy, as far as, if all we're seeing is what we've been seeing, that creates a narrative. And then you think of yourself in this world under that narrative. So when you only see that, hey, I can only be this, I can only be that, I would never be the main person to run shit, then that's just how we have an outlook on our life. Unless you got, unless you got the right family and people around you to push you in the right ways. I'm here as much as I can, but I know what my position is to continue to gather and learn, because I'm into business. I'm an entrepreneur. That's my thing. That's my area. So I just feel like y'all do awesome, and I wish it was more, another female or a more consistent female in the group, because it's really good to have a female in the picture. But no, I'm gonna definitely be on as much as I can. But I'm working on some things on the back end as far as growing and continuing to learn how to do things. I look at things in a business aspect. That's why I say, on a marketing note, even if we're just having these talks, we have to think about it and on a marketing note. If we're trying to reach more people, we got to do things differently. Yeah, we can talk about the topics that people been talking about for hundreds of years, trying to spread the same word, but how can we create engagement? How can we get more people to come? I can't do something the same way consistently and expect a different result. I can't put a time cap on something for me. Me looking at it, I don't know what y'all's goals is, but I can't do something consistently for not a long period of time, but short period of time, and not see what I would want to see. Because we're talking about us people coming together. It shouldn't take forever to make that happen. I don't want to wait another 100 years for something like that to happen. We need to study, how the hell did Nat Turner, do what he did when he didn't even have access to the stuff we have access to. You know what I mean? Those are the people to study and see like what they did so we can do it and do it better. And that's what I'm focused on, is how can we do these things better. And then I think after each live, or just like making these a little shorter and transitioning over to fan base, because I know like with Instagram, for example, and I don't know if it's going to be Facebook, but for sure Instagram, they're going to stop paying people based on their content, so I think they're slowly, or they're going to lower the amount they pay. And not that this is what we're looking for, it's just that they're trying to make it more controlled, and to transition over to fan base. So for example, like, okay, we're done with the live here, y'all, everybody jump on fan base now. We're gonna finish off the last 15-20 minutes there, see you there type of stuff, to start transitioning people over and getting them familiar and used to it. Because you can't just shock people like that, that's, like I said, is not at that capacity of understanding. Take baby steps first. But yeah, I'm here as much as I can.
Yeah, I know you was out taking care of business. I was just, I understand that. You have to mess. You hadn't been here, so I wanted to mess with you for a while and see.
Thank you.
But what you just said, that is what we do though. We always talk about fan base. That's what we try to do. That's what we're doing. We always ask people to download the fan base app and come through.
Post told me he's been on here because he had got suspended, so I'm glad, that happened, so that when we started to do that more often, so we get the hell off this shit.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right here in Richmond. Have a good trip.
Yeah. So let me say this real quick. Hey Blue, you mind mute real quick? So yeah, and Blue, like, so you're right about the fan base app, and that's what we've been doing. Like, only reason why we would have got off here probably at the hour mark, but I know Bakari didn't feel like making a room, and neither did I, because I didn't want to be up all night. So we just stayed on for a little bit to talk to the people. But you're absolutely right, and I agree with you. And to what Guy was saying, yeah, like we don't talk about it enough. Even like the Rosewood thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't realize that it was an armed group of black men who went up to the jail to make sure that brother wasn't gonna get lynched. And when they tried to disarm them, that's how the whole thing started. And it would have been a whole lot of more people killed if it wasn't for the hundreds of black men who set up barricades and all of that stuff around their town and defended it as long as they could. Now, of course, they didn't have airplanes and stuff to defend it, but all of these, when you start looking up, like 90% of these quote unquote race riots, the black population was definitely shooting back. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we definitely trying to work on it. That's why we trying to build more familiarity with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you on these things and you seeing each other face to face, you know what I'm saying, we can unify more. It'd be easier to stand up for each other. But we definitely got to get over this fear and stop having the same conversations. And like Blue was saying, and we talk about, and for me, I know I talk about history to take the lessons and and the successful things and the things that we failed at and try to correct those things. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing I'll say to answer God thing, and Erica and my brother Seymour is in the chat, you know, and Seymour, you know, you're my brother, but I would have to say that Fat Joe isn't a black man. I don't agree with him saying nigga and all of this stuff. And if you call him a spick and all of that, he'll have a problem with it. And we got to be careful with inviting everybody to the barbecue. We get to have the ability to define ourselves. And the other day on fan base, I was saying, you know, if I asked everybody, if I say you have to have at least 4 black grandparents or, you know, 7 out of 8 great grandparents, I'm not going too far back, but whatever we define as black, we have the ability to define ourselves and stop with this one drop rule, unless we come up with a one drop rule, like you got 1 drop of something else, so you're not black. That's the only 1 drop rule from now on that I would acknowledge. And we have the ability to do that. But I don't think that he should be saying that. And you know what I'm saying? We got to stop giving out passes to everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. And I don't know if y'all got an opinion, so I'll let y'all go around and then we gonna you know, go to the last thing.
No, they don't get no pass. Don't care who it is. You can't give nobody a pass to be unrespectful to you. That's my take on it. Don't care who it is.
And I just wanted to say, I wish Ja Rule would have just punched Fat Joe you know, I think that should have been a fight right there, hands down. He should have protected those sisters, man. Coming around disrespecting those sisters like that, you know what I mean? I think it should have been a fight. You know what I mean? He gonna say that's hip hop, okay? And you know, then I'm gonna show you what hip hop is. Then you know what I mean? Like it should have been a brawl right there. You know what I'm saying? And because Lil Mo, she was pissed off, man. She wasn't happy with that. And Ja Rule should have stepped up, but you know, he's a clown. You know what I mean? He's a coward. You know what I'm saying? So all that what he's doing, all that hard is just facade. You know what I mean? He ain't really no street dude like that. Because real street dude would have checked Fat Joe. But and that's another thing. We need to stop uplifting these enemy like that, like they undefeated. You know what I mean? Like they're undefeatable. You know what I mean? I just hate that. I just hate that. Like I've heard a lot of black people like, oh, Fat Joe is this and this and this, and I'm like, I like to see. I like to challenge that. You know what I mean? Like I wish that was me on stage, but that's what it is. But they know who to say that shit to. You know what I mean? I hear the mic.
All right, Blue, you want to say something about that?
Say something about what? The word nigga?
No, they were just saying Fat Joe. Fat Joe, he disrespected like black women when they had that verses, and then you know he was like he can say the word nigga because for whatever reason. So
okay,
yeah.
Right. You know, yeah. So I'll just touch for. I know the word nigga is a conversation that definitely got to be had. Like certain things just got to be said a lot, so that way some people can catch it. So like we were on the live talking about that, and we all had different views and stuff on it. And we're supposed to grow, you know, so it's okay. Like if you have a view on something and, you know, you wind up over time growing and you change that view to something different. That's a part of growth. And I used to feel like, okay, no, you know, I'm not with nobody saying that around me of another race. And that it's not accepted, you know. However, I've come to see that you give your enemy power if you allow him to even know that, hey, this is going to get me riled up. This is going to make me, you know, be willing to kill and go to jail over. This one word, you say this one word and it's like pressing the nuclear bomb for me and take me out. You know, you give them so much power by allowing a word to change you up, you know, like that. So I feel like that word needs to be degraded. You know, we can't give a word, especially our enemy, you know, power to be able to destroy us, you know, verbally. And yeah, I feel like it should be degraded. And how do you degrade something? You make it plentiful, you know, you make it you multiply it. So you allow them to say that, however you want to respond, okay, but I don't think it should be with anger. I don't think that we should allow any other race to be able to say a word to us and we just go ballistic, like they don't, it's not, it's, you have to look at it in that sense because yes, I know it's disrespectful. No, they shouldn't be saying it. Like I understand all that, but if we're thinking about this, um, and as if we're in a battle, in which we are, we can't allow a word to trigger us like that. It's just doesn't make sense, you know, logically. So that's how I feel about that word. Um, and as far as like, the rappers and that come with the game with that. You know what I mean? Like that's just what they do in the hip hop game. And like I said, I feel like it should be degraded anyways. So let us all say it. Let them say it. That can't be a word that we, decide to let us get too riled up about. And just like if you notice over the years, we got all these holidays. Every other day is a holiday. you know, they had to degrade, Black History Month. How do we get a whole month of celebration? They didn't want their white kids to question, like, well, what about, our forefathers? What about they had to degrade holidays, and that's why there's a holiday every day. So, yeah, I just feel like that about that word. And then we have to remember that we are in a country they consider theirs. Every country around is being ran
Hey,
by
Blue, you just
particular
got real
race,
low.
and that no race is sharing a whole country with nobody.
Hey, Blue, can you hear me?
That's why the U.S. does what they do when they create sanctions and stuff. Always over business. But they're
I
running
can't hear her.
running
I
this
cannot hear
country,
her.
Hey,
and they're
Blue.
just allowing us to
I
here
don't think I
because
think
we.
something. All right, there she go. Yo, you was your mic got low for like the last 5 seconds.
Oh no. Okay. I was just saying. We have to remember that we're in, um, or for them, they believe we're in their country, and they will never share this country with us. Never. So if you think we getting somewhere, it's only to, hush you up, let you think that, but we not really nowhere. They're not gonna ever give us what we need or want. They're gonna give us just a little bit to shut us up, and we just take it like babies. Put the pacifier back in your mouth. So we have to get to a level where we do want more. We live on a whole planet that nobody living here created. So why not want more? Why not want to not have to work? Why not want to have to take trips every day if you wanted to? Takes money to do that. We just have to get to a point where we're using our imagination again. Our imagination gets cut off at a young age, and that's the unfortunate part about that's just the life of a Black human being, and it sucks. So wanted to point out also about water shortage. I hope everybody creates a emergency kit, and start stocking up on like canned goods, stuff to clean water and water, just because I was watching some things where they're saying like the largest dam in the US is I think it's almost there. They said once it gets to a certain level, it will be irreversible. And they use these dams to create energy to help us get electricity. So if it gets to a certain level, they cannot generate any electricity. So we'll be on a water shortage, and we'll also have no electricity. Now what? Now what you gonna do? Forget about a job. The people that we call the government to help us run the country cannot provide electricity. So we have to start thinking in the terms of, survival. You have to make sure you at least set at home with you and your family for however long you can, because we don't know how long that blackout is going to last. If they already had one in Puerto Rico, I want to say last week, 1 point something million people was out without power. Like it's really getting serious, and because they don't show certain things on the news, we're not staying up to date with what's going on. So it's so serious to see what's going on around you outside of what's going on in the household. And yeah, back to the whole narrative of this is their country. Either we're gonna take over here. We're never gonna share America. It's either we're gonna take over or we're gonna go and create something somewhere else. It's not gonna be a shared situation where we gonna come up here and they're gonna allow it. Just remember that, like, that's at the end of everything. No matter what way we look at it, what we try to do, they're gonna try to take us out here no matter what. So it's like we're gonna either come up with a plan to take over or come up with a plan where we somewhere else doing this shit. And yeah, I hope everybody is taking care of themselves, because you got to be right if you want to be able to take care of anybody else. And I wish the best for everybody. I'm gonna call it a night. It was nice chatting with y'all, and I'm so happy y'all continue to go live and share your mind and insight, because we need that. I would just say try to change up the verbiage, because from what I've experienced, it's just a lot of people are actually not there mentally. I ain't gonna say they retarded or slow, but they're not there, to even understand the words putting together and then be able to say, what can I do to fix this? So, yeah. Talk to y'all next time. Until next time.
All right.
Yo, but Forecast, let me say something, Forecast.
Yeah,
I was,
yeah, because I'm gonna go around and let everybody close out.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was my closing.
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
you were doing it. My bad.
No, you good. That's why I ain't cut you off, because I was gonna let everybody close out. But let me say this: shout out to you, Blue, and thank you for coming on. You know what I'm saying? I agree with everything that you were saying, and also I was doing my research on those ham radios and stuff like that. And they only reach certain. The more expensive it is, the more further reach that you can have. So you know what I'm saying. But I'll say that. But I'm gonna let my brother Guy go, and then Bakari go, and then I'll close out. Oh yeah, it's on you, Guy. You can go ahead, close out, and say everything.
Yeah, definitely. I want to say thank you for Forecast. I want to say I appreciate Blue. I'm glad she's doing well, because we have missed her. You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank to the chat. You know what I'm saying, for being very supportive. Give a big shout out to my brother Bakari. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because you always put me on game on a lot of things. So, and everybody, I learned. Every time I love building with y'all brothers and sisters, because I'm always learning about something, because you never stop learning. You know what I mean? But I want to mention, and I remember Blue has said, we can't get violent when the other races call us that. But it's because it was funny. I was watching, I don't know if anybody saw the classic movie called Juice, right? Where Tupac was in it. He was playing Bishop. And you had, what's his name? A lot of famous people and a lot of people that we know in the movie. And he got into a situation with those Latino dudes, right? There was only one dude. He wasn't Spanish. That was Tretch. Tretch was playing. I don't even know. He just gave Tretch a job, but Tretch was in it. But I don't know if he was trying to pass for Puerto Rican. I don't know. But Tupac had a problem with the Puerto Rican gang or whatever. And I remember the leader of the gang called Tupac the N-word, right? And Tupac, because they surround him in the corner, called him the N-word. Tupac, yeah, I think y'all remember this. He was like, I'd rather not be a dumb spick like you, or something like that. And they were gonna fuck him up, and the guy was like, hold on. You know, the leader, the Puerto Rican guy was like, leader, you, and then he pulled out this knife. He was gonna stab him. He was gonna stab Pac for saying that. So it's just funny because when you call them that, they're gonna kill you. You know, that's how I took it. And I just think that if they call us that, you know, we can't just sit back and be like, oh, let's have a conversation. We got to show them that same energy. You know what I mean? Because that's the only language they can understand. And I think that was a good message. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, I'm glad Tupac called them that, but you know, you know, he took it as, oh, you gonna disrespect me like that? Like you call me that name? And he pulled out this knife. So I want you, if y'all don't remember, just take a look at it. You can probably look up that clip on YouTube, and you'll see for yourself. Because I thought it was kind of deep. You know what I mean? But yeah, other than that, this has been a great conversation, man. We need more of this because people are paying attention. You know, people are paying, even on fan base, man. I love fan base, man. It's, you know, so our message need to be out there. It has to get out. It has to get out. You know, so our people can be on board, because we are growing, believe it or not. So people are getting away from all this pseudoism and coming to realization. You know what I mean? So with that said, I'll rest my mic, and I appreciate everybody on the panel and the chat.
Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely have to talk about that again because I have a follow-up for that a skit you just said. But yeah, I'll save that.
All right. And before it's on Bakari, let me say this. Yo, Seymour, you gotta get the Seymour Dwayne. Anybody who don't got the app, Brandon Baxter, y'all get the fan base app, you know, because we having more of these conversations. That's why we haven't been on here as much, because we've been going to fan base. And you know, I come on here and Raw is not on here yet, but she sent me an email and stuff like that. I'm trying to help Raw get on there. But like I said, I'm not trying to you know, leave y'all out there. I'm gonna still come back and like try to get y'all to come over there. But Seymour, Dwayne, y'all get that app, man, so y'all can come on the lives. Go ahead, Bakari.
You know, I hear people say that a lot, that we shouldn't let a word control us, right? It's really not control. It's more or less, for me anyway, it's more or less respect. I'm being honest, because shit, I done kick white folks' ass for calling me the N-word, and you know what? Didn't have a problem doing it. We'll probably do it again. Some things that we have to control, and that's one of the things that we can control, how we allow people to treat us. But first, we have to look at how we treat ourselves.
Right.
I am a firm believer in that if it bothers us so much, we shouldn't use it at all. That's my belief. That's my take on that. You know, that we shouldn't say it at all if it bothers us so much, right? So for me, I tell people, and it kind of bothers me. I was like, look, a black person that used the word, and I know people that just use it in front of anybody and use it with anybody. You use the word, it must not bother you that much. So if someone call you that, there's no reason for you to act like you've been so disrespected because you sat there, use it in front of them. You sat and use it with them. You give them the right to say it. I tell them I can't stand with you if you get upset with someone call you that. But I also understand, like I explained to my people, even when I go to the bar, I know some people, when they're speaking to me, the way we talk, they might say, what's up, my N-word? I tell them I'm not that, but I never get upset with them for using the word, because I know I know black people is not saying this to be disrespectful toward me. So I don't get upset with black people for saying that. That's not my thing. I don't do that. But yeah, that word is a conversation that we really truly need to have. We need to continue to have that conversation. And I yield the mic.
All right. Before we close out, Tanzan, I think Tanzan went back and listened to the show before she commented. And hey Blue, this is Tanzan. She a good sister, and Tanzan Blue, that's my home. She been my homie for like almost 20 years, you know. And so I'm glad
Yep.
y'all talk.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Miss Tanzam. And if I could just really quick what y'all two saying and to leave a thought of picking your battles, it's definitely time to start fighting differently by playing the game that's already been set up, just like they do us. There's laws around if we're going to play this game, it's laws around what is it, racial hate or hate crimes. There was a case where the woman, it was a son and a father, that she said, "Oh, they stole my phone," and she wound up getting suspended time over her head for 2 years, and got the charge of a hate crime. But this is something that's going to always be on her record. You know how they put that's just our life is getting something on a charge, and now that's something that's being looked at forever. I just feel like there's other ways to fight these situations, especially with this word. So yeah, we're choosing your battle, because that's a heck of a battle and a hell of a lot of people to have to slap and punch because of a word. And that's simply what I'm saying. But yeah, I'll close out.
All right, go ahead, Tanzan.
Oh, peace, sis. I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. I hope it's not too belated.
It's never too late. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you had a good one. And good to hear, another sister's voice. That's always good to hear. So
Yes, I agree.
I'm so sorry I came on in late, but I had a good reason. I was listening to Sister Lightbearer. I think you all know her. And she had a good show about, how religion is keeping us back. And there was this pale troll who was but she handled it very well. She's very calm. And so that's one way of doing it, But no, he wasn't like outright disrespectful, but he was quite annoying. And she dealt with it very gracefully. So you guys go ahead and when you have time, just listen to it. It was a good one. And you know what was weird? Just hearing, oh man, so many things just came home when I was hearing that story with the person speaking in Kiswahili. And, it was so visceral in the language, the way he said it. He actually said that they put the gun to his head and splattered his brains everywhere, like exploded his head. Yeah, that's what he said. They exploded his head. And he I don't know whether he was there at the scene or not, but the way he was describing it, it was like he saw his own son die. And that, oh man.
Hey
And
Tanzan, he saw the he wasn't there, he saw the video.
oh shoot, wow. Okay, so he did see it. Wow. Okay. Yeah. And sometimes people will say, oh, they got their wake-up call, and so on. But I think we all know, in a way, it's just some people just try to do the best that they can. I think it's more of a defeatism attitude, or even people who know. I think most people are aware, but it's just they feel that it's too big beyond themselves, and they really don't want to see it until it comes home to it comes to your home. So it's just sad that it happens to everybody, and yet we still fighting each other over yet we're still fighting each other, that's all. And yeah, so that was pretty sad to watch, and seeing the little baby, like, people, how do you still care for this? How do you still have any feeling for somebody who doesn't have any feeling for a child? A child, like how do you develop that for a child? What kind of monster are you that you can do that to an innocent baby? Like I don't know. You know, sometimes you see it, you know, you have to be reminded, and yet you're like, no, we all see this, right? And for us to just behave so civilly is a testament to our own civility, that we can actually still get up and do what we need to do, knowing how things are. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Tanzan, for coming through. And shout out to Bakari, Guy, Blue. Thank you for coming on. You know, I always appreciate it. And let me say this real quick to what you were saying, because and Blue been on a couple of these shows, because we've been talking about being prepared for a long time. And also, I was doing my research on the ham radios, and the more expensive it is, the further out you can reach. You know what I'm saying? And some of these ones that's like less expensive is like you can't get but so far as like radio distance. And the ones that's like probably like 300 or more, you can kind of reach, like it seems like you can reach everywhere in America at the very least. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing my research on that. And you know, with the water shortage and stuff like that, I agree with you again, Blue. With as far as that goes, so yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that we need to start preparing for. Like even when you go to the store, just get some extra. You don't have to buy everything in one day. Just start getting like extra canned goods, water, stuff like that. You know, and try to buy some seeds and go out. If you have a yard or something, try to learn how to plant stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we need to start doing things like that. And the last thing I want to say, I want to thank everybody who came to that meeting yesterday, you know, on Sunday that we had, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, we're going to be doing more of those, and I eventually want to be able to get it to the point where we can meet each other in person, and you know, so we can not have these conversations recorded online for people to go back and listen to what we got to worry about. Because like I said, y'all don't have to apologize to me for no strikes or nothing like that. I don't care. They're gonna give it to me anyway for showing Black people fighting back. But you know, I want to get it to the point where we can meet up in person and we can do these kind of things. Like, so we'll find out where everybody is and meet in a central location. So I'm gonna have another Zoom meeting next week on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So anybody who want to be a part, my email is in the description, and I'll put it in the chat so you can come through for that. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have to show your face, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, we this is something serious. It's not like YouTube. I know, like, even though Bakari don't like it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, on YouTube it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But on these kind of platforms, you know what I'm saying, that's something different. So like I said, y'all email me if y'all want to be a part of the Zoom meeting, and you know, it'll be a little longer than the last one, and you know, more organized and stuff like that. The first time is always hiccups and stuff like that. And you know, like I said, we're gonna get better with it. So anybody want to be a part, make sure y'all email me. And thank y'all for coming on, and thank y'all for coming to the meeting, and thank Blue, Tanzan, Bakari, you know, my brother Seymour, you know, hopefully you come, Dwayne, Erica, of course, Erica, everybody that was in the chat, you know what I'm saying? It's too many to say. My good sister Matilda, Mayhat the Rainbow Goddess, you know, everybody, Rasheed Holmes. So we might be back with the another live on the fan base. So y'all make sure y'all get fan base, and my name on there is The Forecast. Bakari. What's your name, Bakari? I can't say that.
Bakari Kibwe.
Bakari Kibwe. Guy is I think it's just Guy Nollywood, I think, on there.
Yep, it's Guy Nollywood.
Okay. And Blue has hers. I'm not sure if Blue, you want to put yours out there.
Yeah, it's Sax Ble. SAXEBLEU.
Okay. And Tanzan, you want to put yours out there?
I think I'm on the list already, so let's just add to the names.
Okay, yeah, Tanzan, yeah. So thank y'all again for coming on. I got a live premiere that's coming on right now. I tried to move it back like 15 minutes, but it's already on. So I'll put it in the description if y'all want to watch it. It's on there right now. So thank y'all again. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.